Okay, so I love this video. Invest in your future and invest in your family. So let me tell you how I began on this journey. So I'm on the board of directors of the Million Mom Movement and how that came about. Okay, when my son was 2 years old, I thought I knew everything there was about nutrition, right? But there was something that I was missing. When he was 2 years old, he had eczema all over his body. He developed what I recognize as IBS, and he would go to the bathroom 6 to 8 times a day. And I brought him to every specialist, every doctor, and everyone said this was completely normal. But as moms, you know when something does not make sense. And we've tried everything. We use every cortisone cream, everything a doctor's recommended, and nothing helped. Not one person spoke about gut health issues. So one day when I was on vacation, randomly, a woman came up to me and saw my son, the pain that he was in. And she came up to me and she said, "Have you ever heard of glyphosate toxicity?" What? I've never heard of this word before. And then she started mentioning all of the symptoms of glyphosate toxicity. And as I was entertaining her, I'm like, you know what? That sounds like what my son is going through. And not one person has ever mentioned this to us. And me being a geneticist, I'm like, how have I never heard about this before? So she recommended a solution. Okay. And this is not a probiotic. This is something that regenerates the microbiome. So I introduced it in a form of biomedic, which was a raw capsule. I opened it and I sprinkled it all over his food. And then Monday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, all of his issues went away. Finally, my son was, he was back. No more pain, no more pain, and he was back to me. And from that moment, I told her, whatever this is, I'm all in, because there's so many moms out there, so many families, aunts and uncles who have been living with this for years, who have no idea there's a solution. And now it's my responsibility to be loud with this and share this information with the world. So this is my mission, and this is what I'm doing each and every day. How about you, Sherry?
I've heard that story so many times, and so every time I hear your story, Tess, I get a little emotional because I know that feeling of watching your child, not feeling well or not being well, and taking them to the doctors and trying to figure things out, and not really being given the solutions that you're hoping for, right? So with that said, that leads kind of straight into my story. So I've been passionate about health and wellness for a really long time now. I became a holistic nutritionist and a health coach a couple of years ago. And when I really launched my practice, I started to come across a really frustrating issue, which was when it was time to recommend supplements or vitamins, minerals to my clients. It was really hard to find any that I could really back. That even what I started finding was, even through my research, that organic brands are not always as clean as we've been led to believe. And this was really disturbing to me, and it became very frustrating because I always felt like I was sending my clients on a scavenger hunt to a health food store to try to find this brand of probiotic and that brand of vitamin C, and it was just really overall frustrating. And I was starting to see that same frustration in our home life personally, because the research that I do professionally, I always, I'm living the life that I'm guiding my clients towards. So I'm always doing the same things at home, and I was finding it very frustrating. And I wasn't 100% convinced that what we were taking, while the best I could find, I wasn't really 100% convinced that they were really getting the nutrients that they needed. Fast forward to 2018, and my older son got really sick, and we didn't know what was going on with him. He's an athlete, and we started to see a huge decline in his ability, both on the field and on the ice. He had zero endurance. he'd go down the stairs and be out of breath, and it's completely not like him. He wound up being diagnosed with type 1 diabetes. And this, I'm a holistic nutrition and health coach. This is what I do for a living. I specialize in autoimmune disease, and I never saw this coming. And this really sent me on even deeper on my path. Again, both personally first, because I was like, I started to learn and understand that how huge a connection there is between our gut health and autoimmune disease and inflammation. And again, that wasn't something that the doctors were telling me about my son, right? Gut health was never mentioned. It was about, how we're going to treat the symptoms and the fact that he's going to be on synthetic insulin for the rest of his life. And I needed more answers than that. And intuitively, I knew that there had to be more to this, that I've learned through my professional career. I've learned to go look for the core, the source, and not just to treat the symptoms. And so I dove into researching and looking and knew there had to be something better out there. And that's when I met Tess. And we started immediately on our protocol of Purium. And the results that we're seeing is, it brings me to tears, because I just watched my son run 3 full blocks the other day while we went for a family walk. And he was not out of breath. He could have ran more. He's back to like full force on the field and the ice. His coaches are commenting on his training ability and how full of energy he is. We're all noticing such beautiful benefits to Purium, and so are my clients. And this is why I'm here.
Thank you so much, Shari. I love hearing your story. So I would love to hear Lauren's story as well. I know it's an amazing story.
So my story is a little different. I don't have the same background as both of you ladies. I met Tess probably 3 years ago or so, and she started talking to me about Purium, and it's never the right time. It's never the right time. And then right before the Christmas holidays in 2019, I went for like my annual blood test, the yearly blood test. And I check my sugars every year because I had gestational diabetes with my last child. And I always go back and check. And that year my sugars were like getting higher. And I said, okay, it's almost New Year's. I'm making a resolution. I'm going to do something. I need to get myself in proper shape. So I did a 10-day cleanse right off the bat in New Year's, and I felt great. I had been a vegetarian since I'm 10 years old, but I made the switch to become vegan and gluten-free at that point. And everything was going great until my family contracted COVID. And we got through the 2 weeks of illness, and we had, the flu-like symptoms. And I managed to keep, maintaining my lifestyle through that time. But then about a month later, I started experiencing very strange symptoms, which I've now chalked up to long haul COVID, which included terrible headaches and body aches and feeling like I had a sinus infection. And that's how it first presented. And I went through a slew of different doctors, from GP to an ENT to a neurologist, who really didn't think anything was wrong with me, but I was feeling pain. So I thought back to Purium and talked with Tess at that point, and I did their ultimate lifestyle transformation, which is a 30-day cleanse, and I did along with my husband. So for 30 days, we followed this very regimented plan, and it helped. It helped a lot. It helped relieve most of my symptoms. I still have one lingering one that I'm in a study to try and figure out what it is exactly. But, combined, we lost about 30 pounds together, and we've made it a new lifestyle now. We've cut out coffee, which you don't have to do, but we did. We cut out coffee. I've cut out alcohol completely. And I'm still maintaining that vegan, gluten-free lifestyle. And we're trying to incorporate it into our lives for our children. And they're very, very picky eaters. So I can't say that they use all of the products, but we're really trying to model what we do so that they can see that really it's important to have a healthy lifestyle. We have switched to almost 90% organic in our house, and they see that and they ask questions why. We were just at the Jean Sauvin market today, and I wasn't buying apples because I couldn't find organic ones. And my son said, why? And I said, because there's all kinds of chemicals on them. So we're teaching them as we go and really trying to incorporate little things into their lives to try and make them a little bit healthier and get them on the same path that we're on, and just modeling that behavior to them. And it's been great. And I'm hoping through the study that I'm in, I'm going to be able to clear up all of my symptoms. But I know that my shift in lifestyle and using many of the Purium products has definitely helped. It's helped me feel more energetic, regardless of the long COVID. It's brought my sugars way down. It's brought my cholesterol down. So it's made me a healthier person all around. So I just want to share what I've learned through the process and how it's changed my life with everybody else and as many people as I can touch.
What an incredible story. And we have so many stories and testimonials just like this that's happened to thousands, hundreds of thousands of people, from ourselves to our family, kids, pregnancies. It affects all of us, right? So any way that we can have easy methods to help us feel better in any way, why not? Right? So I'm going to continue sharing my screen. Okay. Okay. Sherry. Oh, what am I doing? Okay. So Purium stands for pure and premium, right? And this is why we love it, right? It's USAID organic. There's no binders, fillers, hormones, and anything that's not organic. So whenever we talk about Purium and we talk about whole foods, this is food. Everything is raw organic food and everything is living enzymes. So this is how we feel comfortable sharing this with our entire family. There's no artificial colors, no flavors, and no sweeteners whatsoever. So it's easy ways for us to incorporate it in our life. Any one of you ladies want to add anything?
Yeah, I think you said it all. And that is, I just want to say how rare this is. I mean, I have yet to come across any other company that has ever offered anything. I mean, it's literally farm to table fresh. Like, it does not get fresher than this. And it's just, it's so rare.
Absolutely. And we are going to be talking about a pack today that we've been incorporating each and every day into our life, and it makes our life easy and the kids love it. So it will be all of these, and we will be breaking it down and showing you how we use it, how we incorporate in our life, and tips and tricks that we use.
So I can talk a little bit about MVP Kids. For the time being, my husband and I have this in our morning shakes, working on the kids and getting there. So I do have some tips and tricks to share. But it's basically protein. It has 10 grams of pure plant-based protein. It's actually very low in calories, sugar. It doesn't have any bad stuff in it. And it's full of protein to really help sustain them through the day. So it makes for a great breakfast. And it also has added benefits. It helps with calmness. It helps give them, like I said, energy throughout the day. It's 100% organic. And it's chocolate. So who doesn't love chocolate? And you can incorporate it into a bunch of recipes, from cookies to ice cream to energy balls. So there's many different uses. I'm gonna try and sneak it in for them and see how that works. But I enjoy it on the daily as a shake with some berries and almond milk.
So what I love about the MVP Kids is that as the weather is starting to change, right? We need to get the most amount of nutrients in our kids. And one vitamin that we become very deficient in as the weather starts changing, we don't have as much sunlight, is D3. And the MVP Kids has your full amount of D3. So now you're having your pure vegan protein paired with your bioavailable D3. And when you pair this together, the kids are getting everything they need. And I love what Lauren was talking about. You know, you don't just need to drink this. You can use this in your cooking. So I have a fantastic recipe that's only 2 ingredients. I do the MVP Kids and applesauce. And sometimes I like throwing in some chocolate chip cookies, chocolate chips inside. You bake that up for 12 minutes. It's the most delicious, ooey gooey cookies ever. And it's an easy snack for after school, even in the morning for the kids. And there's no nuts, no peanuts. You can feel great about giving this to your kids. How about you, Shara? Do you have anything else to add to this?
Yes, absolutely. So I don't know about any of you, but my boys are constant snackers. Like I feel like the kitchen is just like a constant revolving door from meal to meal. There's about 5 snacks that usually happen in between each meal. Since incorporating MVP Kids in the morning as part of their breakfast, I make it as a smoothie. Sometimes I'll add a banana and some other things, but oftentimes, especially when we're pressed for time and we're in a rush, it's so complete all on its own that I'll just throw it in with some plant-based milk into my blender really quickly and give it to them. Ever since we've incorporated this, they don't ask for snacks. They don't look for snacks. They are so satisfied with their breakfast that they'll go to lunch easily without looking for anything. So that has been huge. It's been huge. And they love the taste.
Amazing. And I also have to add, this is the only protein powder on the market that has no heavy metals and no glyphosate. Okay. So that really helps knowing that you're giving all of the nutrients to your kids without having to worry. Hello, Digest. Who wants to talk about this?
I'll talk about it. So aloe is fantastic for helping your body to detox, for eating and digestion. But if you've ever had aloe on its own, either in the gel form or if you bought the leaves and you cut the gel out, it doesn't taste very good. So then you have to try to blend it in something or try to find some way to hide it to get it in. But with Aloe Digest, tastes so delicious. It's got apple and ginger and what else is in there? There's so many things, pea fiber and just so many delicious. There's lemon powder in it. And the combination just gives you this beautiful, smooth tasting drink. You can have it after meals. I like to have it in the evening, especially if I've maybe overeaten or just having a harder time digesting something. My kids love it too. It's great on ice. And it's a great way to get your aloe in because aloe has so many health benefits.
And it helps soothe the tummy and it just tastes so good.
Okay.
I know my kids are always asking for this as well.
Yeah.
And I like making Jello shots with this. There's this product and another one we'll tell you about later. I love incorporating it into my food as well, you know? So it's not always about drinking things. We'll show you how to incorporate this in your daily routine, in your daily life. Lauren, do you have anything to add about this?
I haven't tried this one, but it's on my list.
Okay.
There was a question in the chat though that I don't know how to answer.
What's the question?
Sourced in the U.S.?
Sorry?
Are the products sourced in the U.S.?
Absolutely. Okay, so the products, Purium is a farm. Okay, so they own the farms, and the farms are all over the US, right? And mainly in California. And they have to be certain that it's all raw organic. Okay, so they have the better climate, so it's easier for them to source that. I know in Canada, the white American ginseng is sourced here, but everything else is absolutely sourced in the States. But everything is farm to family. So as soon as it's cultivated, it's all raw, dehydrated at very low temperature, lower than the dehydration, and air shipped in the eco-friendly packaging to your house. So this is one of my favorite products, okay? Green Spectrum. Green Spectrum, this is all sea vegetables, guys. So this is kelp, your dulse from alfalfa, spirulina, chlorella. All of your delicious sea vegetable is found in here. And that's so difficult to get all of these sea vegetables into your kids. But in a green spectrum form, the kids love it. It tastes delicious. Every single ingredient is raw organic. And you know how I like to do this? In the morning when the kids wake up, I do this in shot glasses. I just prepare some little shot glasses and I mix it with cold water and I make it a contest with them. And I'm like, guys, let's see who can have our shots the fastest. And we just have it. And this is a great time to have it because it makes your body in the most alkalized state. Okay. And when your body is in the alkalized state, diseases do not stick. So this is a great way to increase all of their vitamin K, vitamin A, all of their vitamins. They're getting all of their chlorophyll and all of their green vitamins together. And again, it's delicious. Okay, next, biofruit. Sherry, I know you love this one.
I do love this one because it tastes like a fruit punch. My kids love it. So biofruit is nutrient dense organic fruits. There's about 15 plus organic fruits in here, and they're not. I mean, some of them are your common strawberries and blueberries and apples, but then there's pomegranate and goji berry and acai and a whole slew of of fruits that your children might not necessarily eat on their own, or that you don't eat it. I mean, I know I don't buy those things on a regular basis. So this is a great way to incorporate a whole slew of fruits that they may not otherwise drink or eat, I should say, but in this case, drink. And first of all, it's a beautiful color. You open up the container, it's this beautiful, like pinkish, purplish color. It smells like a fresh bowl of fruit. And you mix it with water, and it's a fruit juice. So instead of giving my kids a juice box, which we don't do anyways, but they feel like they get to have juice this way, and I love it because I know all of the beautiful benefits that they're getting with it.
I love that. And I love that it's all very tart fruit, right?
Yes.
So the
Yes.
goji berries, the acerola, all of these things kids normally don't gravitate towards, right? And this is all in one, and they don't even taste tart. It's so delicious, a delicious fruity flavor, right?
So it's got a really good refreshing flavor to it. This actually,
Absolutely.
I'm just gonna add that this one I've just recently started putting it in my son's water bottle for hockey practice. And so with his blood sugar levels, I feel good giving this to him because I know, number one, it's going to help keep him balanced. Number two, it's going to help him not go under, lower too much. And he loves the taste. So while the other kids, are having Gatorades or things like that, he's got his biofruit in his water bottle, and he's loving it.
What a great point. All of those Gatorades, they're just basically colored sugar, right? You're not giving any nutrients to your body. And this way you're getting all of your it's all the phyto colors, right? In a spectrum.
Yeah.
So it's so beautiful that the kids are getting all of their fruits just in this one product.
Yeah.
Okay. Can't beat this.
I can talk about this one. So I mentioned that I haven't had a cup of coffee since January. This one definitely helps with that. So if you love beets, it tastes like beets. It's delicious. If you don't love beets, you can mix it in with some of the other stuff, and then it tastes like a fruit punch too. But it really helps health in a number of ways. Vascular integrity. It provides a lot of energy. Like I once had it at 5:30 in the evening and made a mistake and realized I couldn't fall asleep that night. It helps support healthy blood sugars. So it's a great alternative to caffeine that's actually healthy for you. And it tastes great, like I said too. And I actually made the other day can't beat this latte, and it was really good with a little bit of cinnamon and almond milk. And as the weather gets colder, sometimes you just like to have that mug in your hand, and this really satisfied that craving for me.
That sounds delicious. I can't wait to try that. So my daughter's an athlete. She does volleyball and basketball, and she actually has the can't beat this post practice or pre practice. And she can go on, and she's full of energy, and she has the exhaustion after all their games. So this has been a lifesaver for me as well. And I don't have coffee either. And this, as a mommy, this has helped me throughout my days every single day.
For sure. Same here. I also love to use it as a pre-workout for myself. So before I get a workout, before I go downstairs to do my workout, I often will make myself a can't beat this. And I have given it to my sons as well, either before a game or after their games, and just awesome, steady energy, which is.
And you know what? I used to juice beets before discovering can't beat this. And it was messy everywhere. the cleanup was disastrous, okay? And to get my kids to have beetroot, it was not easy. It's a very, strong taste, but in can't beat this. They love it. It tastes delicious and there's no rooty taste from beets. Okay. Immune shield. Okay. So especially what we're going through now with, the change of weather and everything, I love using the immune shield. In the immune shield, you have astragalus, you have echinacea, you have all of these amazing things that you can, it's in a tincture. All I do is I just drop a couple drops into my kid's mouth. It tastes delicious. I use it as well. It's not just for the kids. Every time I feel like, we're moms. We know like if they're starting to get maybe sick, right? They complain about like something's happening inside of them, a sore throat or something. Right away, I give them the immune shield. And I know it's going to help boost their immunity right away, and it makes my life easier.
Mm-hmm.
I ordered this.
Ion.
Sorry.
Okay.
I was just going back to the other one. I ordered it and I haven't given it to my kids yet. And I did what you said, Tess. I put a drop on my tongue and it actually does taste very good.
Right?
So yeah, I'll take some myself too.
Yeah, it really does, and that's how I give it to my kids. It tastes exactly how you said, and I take it as well. And it's important. I want to make it clear that since finding all of these products and all the ones that we're talking about today has made it that we've eliminated buying vitamins. Like there's very little, if any, that like I don't give my kids any. They had a multivitamin before, an omega-3, a D vitamin, we've cut that all out because all of these amazing things that we're talking about tonight have every vitamin and mineral that I otherwise would have given them a whole bunch of different products of, and who knows how much they were really even absorbing, right? But here, because it's all whole food and plant-based, I know that they're digesting it and it's going to where it's needed and it's building their immune system and it's doing all of these amazing things.
Perfectly said, Shari. Okay. Ionic elements. Okay. So this is another one of my favorite things. Okay. So when my son and myself, we were going through all of our gut issues, you know what was happening? Our gut is what absorbs all of the minerals around us. The minerals, the vitamin, everything that we eat was being compromised at the moment. So once we started healing our gut and our microbiome and started introducing ionic elements, it's changed our whole absorption issue. Okay. So ionic elements is all of your trace minerals. So magnesium, barium, selenium, all of the minerals work together. Okay. You have your fulvic acid. So fulvic acid is great post COVID. You know what Lauren was talking about for immunity boosting. So you have to always introduce ionic elements. We go through so much mineral deficiency each and every day. Just introduce all the trace minerals in your body, and this takes care of them all, right? Do you guys want to add anything else?
Yeah, I just want to say that this is one area where we're talking about the trace minerals that even as a holistic practitioner myself, I wasn't aware of just how often pretty much everyone is deficient in these minerals. We all can stand to be replenishing them on a daily basis. So the ionic element has been a game changer for us.
Yeah, that's been a huge issue with a lot of people. You think you eat healthy, but are you absorbing the food that you're eating, right? And when you're not absorbing it, it means that you are mineral deficient. So just adding a couple drops of the ionic elements can go so long. Just this bottle, this could last 6 months. Okay. You just need a couple drops in some water. Sometimes when I do the aloe digest, I add a couple to that, and it helps all of your digestive tract pull everything down, all of the waste as well, and you see it helps the effects of aging because this is all of the minerals. It helps healthy skin growth. It helps your whole immunity. So this is something that would be essential to add to your pantry for sure. And I think this is one of all of our favorites.
Yes. I can talk about this one. It is my favorite, 100%. It's tart cherry juice, which I had never heard of before. I have always been an amazing sleeper. And then after COVID, I would lie awake in bed and I couldn't get back to sleep at all. I would just sit there. And then after I did my cleanse, it included the apothecary. And now it's like my evening cocktail. Thanks to Taz, I know how to take it. I put it 2 drops of it into hot water and have it like a cup of tea. And literally the minute my head hits the pillow, I'm out. So it definitely is great for sleep. I've been hearing, since I started taking it, I've been hearing more and more of adults and children taking melatonin. This is a natural replacement for that. And for me, because COVID is so inflammation based, this has been great to try and reduce the inflammation in my body. And it's supposedly supposed to beautify the skin as well. So that's an added bonus on top of all that other stuff. But I take it like that, or I take it in sparkling water. I know that I think Tassie put it on ice cream sometimes as like a cherry sauce. I haven't tried that yet.
Absolutely. There's so many things you can do with this. Apothecary, like the kids can have it, you can have it. And taking melatonin pills are super dangerous, okay? The body gets used to it and the long-term effects are very bad. So if you know anyone taking melatonin pills, tell them about apothecary, okay? This is only tart cherry. There's only one ingredient in this whole bottle, and all you need is 2 tablespoons to get a full night's rest. It makes you go into REM sleep 3 hours longer. And when you're in REM sleep 3 hours longer, this is when your DNA gets repaired. Okay. And this helps your anti-aging, your telomeres get lengthened, and you know what happens? You wake up refreshed. Okay. And apothecary also reduces uric acid formation. So, sometimes when you develop gout, it reverses that as well. And you know what Lauren was talking about? It beautifies the skin. We actually call this Botox in a bottle because you wake up with amazing skin with all of the anti-inflammatory properties. How about you, Sherry? What do you love about this?
I love everything that both of you have mentioned about it and then some. I mean, my older son with type 1 diabetes was never a good sleeper, like ever a good sleeper. And I always felt, especially after his diagnosis, that was working against him because of all of the DNA repair, right? All the repairing that the body does when it's in that really good REM sleep. And so Apothecary has finally fixed this issue for us. He sleeps incredibly well. It's our routine now. It's a part of our evening routine. I take 2 tablespoons of water. The kids have a tablespoon each in a glass of water. I love the idea of putting it into warm water as a tea. And we enjoy it. We love it. I used to buy them tart cherries because I have known about the effects of tart cherries for a really long time. I used to buy, an organic tart cherry juice from the store. Never did we ever notice the difference. So apothecary, just being cherries has totally flipped our sleep around. And the fact that it reduces inflammation, that it literally fights inflammation is huge because inflammation means that your body becomes much more susceptible to autoimmune issues. And for my son with this type 1 diabetes, this has been a total game changer. And apothecary will forever be part of our evening routine.
And you have your full amount of vitamin C in here as well, right? So that helps as well. And you know what, like Laura was talking about incorporating in your food. So absolutely. I love drizzling this on an ice cream, or I make a salad dressing. I use this instead of balsamic, and I make a glaze, and I've made roasted Brussels sprouts and I tossed it with the apothecary. Oh, it's so delicious. So all of these become your staple in your kitchen, and you can learn to intermix them together. So the apothecary with the aloe digest, you can add a few drops with the ionic elements, the magnesium with the apothecary. This will help you go into a deeper sleep, right? So all of this is your food, and this is how you become your own alchemist in your kitchen. And gut health. So you know what myself and Sherry were talking about at the beginning with the mind-gut connection and how the gut has everything and glyphosate toxicity. So this is a product that we introduced to our families. It's called Biomedic. So you're asking a question, what is glyphosate? So glyphosate is something that is sprayed everywhere. It's sprayed in every single thing that's not organic. So you need to see a USAID or certified organic seal. Okay. If a product does not have that, that means it's not organic. And organic means they change the way the seed is, not just topical spray. They manipulate the seed, and the seed is designed to kill everything around. And what happens is that when you ingest the product, let's say a strawberry, okay? And you buy a strawberry that's not organic and you eat it, it continues killing in your microbiome and makes little holes in your digestive system. So it doesn't matter what you eat, you get little holes and your minerals and nutrients leaks out. And that causes so many issues, from all autoimmune diseases to a lower immunity to so many issues. So here we have this product called Biomedic that actually removes glyphosate, 74% of glyphosate, and it lowers your C-reactive protein levels by 75%. So C-reactive protein levels are your inflammation biomarkers. So when you have any autoimmune diseases, breast cancers, daily living, our inflammation biomarkers are through the roof. So this lowers it by 3/4, and it's all in food. Okay. It's 4 ingredients of food, completely safe for your entire family. If you're pregnant, if you have a little child, you all can use this for your entire family. This is why I incorporated in my son's life when he was 2, and it's changed our life completely. Do you have anything to add to this, Sherry or Lauren?
Yes, I do. It also raises the gut immune response, right, by 35%, which is a very large amount when we're talking about the response of our immune system. That's what we want. We want our immune systems to be as reactive as possible in a good way, right? We want it to be on alert, functioning, and ready for us because it's our first line of defense. Yep, the Biomedic is something that I have. I hold it close to my heart. The idea of glyphosate, that's another area where I thought I knew everything I needed to know about glyphosate, but in fact, I really did not. I honestly thought it was more of an issue in the United States. I didn't think we needed to be so concerned about it here in Canada. I thought I avoided most of the products. By eating organic, I was pretty sure that we were avoiding as much of it. Actually, I thought we were avoiding all of it. Come to find out that that's not always the case, right? I do believe that glyphosate toxicity has a lot to do with my son's autoimmune diseases that I've had in the past. Biomedic is what we're taking to remove glyphosate, because glyphosate it adds up in our systems, right? It doesn't go away on its own. And over the long term, we're not just talking about glyphosate, because glyphosate in and of itself has huge negative effects, like Tass, you just said. But then we're also, on top of that, we're exposed to another 1,000 toxins a day on average. All of these load up and accumulate in our bodies. And so a product like Biomedic is what's needed in order to help support our bodies in getting this stuff out.
Absolutely. And what I love about this as well, it has humic and fulvic acids. So those are key to be introducing into our bodies right now, especially what we're going through, change of weather, post-COVID. If you had it or you didn't, this helps you detoxify all of the toxicity. Okay. So you have the humic and fulvic acids, which are key, and it lowers your inflammation. Okay. And we know inflammation, when your inflammation becomes high from life stresses, autoimmune, from the environment, it's completely unavoidable. Just introduce Biomedic to your daily routine. Lauren, do you have anything to add to this?
No, you guys covered it all.
So what we love about this, that we have a 60-day money back guarantee on this 30-day program. How amazing is that? This is how you know that the company really cares and they just want you to try it. Because what do you have to lose but gain your health, right? And to make our lives easier. So you can try it. And if you don't like it for any reason, you have 60 days to return everything, even if it's empty. Try it and see your results. And if you don't like it for any reason, return it. We won't get mad. Don't worry. So let me talk a little bit about the Million Mom movement. So this is very close to my heart. And we are looking for moms, families, caregivers, right? To spread the health, the well-being about our economic opportunity and the toxicity in our food and in our environment. So we get together every Friday. This is an awareness platform. And we talk about toxicity in our food, in our environment, from dyes to sugars, to glyphosate toxicity that affect all of us. We also have a YouTube channel on the Million Mom movement. So we talk about so many issues there. Kids, families, perimenopausal. We are having a call this Wednesday speaking about cancer. There's so many issues that we discuss. And I would invite all of you to come on every Friday at 2 p.m. Eastern. We hold these calls called Fierce Friday that, it's an education platform and it's a way for us to get together and share what's happening in the world and bring solutions. And you're asking, so how do I get started? So the person who invited you to this call actually has over $100 for everything that we spoke of today. So you can go onto the website, ishoppurium.com, to activate the gift card that person will be sharing with you, or you could scan this QR code and get started right away. Change a weight for the whole family. What are you waiting for? So I'm going to come back and see if there's any questions. Was there any questions in the chat? If anyone has any questions.
I have a question that I don't know how to answer for somebody. Are there certain medications that can't be taken alongside Purium products, or is it really case by case by product?
Okay, so everything in Purium is food. Okay, it's from a farm. So the only issues would be if you have an allergy to some food, like if you're allergic to cherries, then don't have the apothecary, right? If you're allergic to quinoa, don't have the power shake, whatever it is, if you have a food allergy, but this will not interfere with any medication.
Thank you.
And what I love is all of the packaging is eco-friendly, right? Everything is made out of hemp and held together by tree resin. So you are not putting plastic into your family's life as well. So if that's important to you, I know that's important to all of us. And, we have to spread the health forward to each and every one. So if we have no more questions, you can always reach back to the person who invited you to this call. And if you have more questions, we can meet another time and we can dive deep into these questions. We can answer anything. Any objection you might have, ask us. Don't be shy, okay? We are here to help you. Thank you so much for spending the evening with us. We appreciate all of you. Thank you, ladies. Thank you, everyone. Have a great evening.
Thank you.
Thank you.